Hello and welcome. Oh my gosh, where to start? Meghan sat down with Emma Greedy for her podcast on June the 17th. And it was an insightful interview, seeing Meghan speaking off the cuff. And there is so much to cover here. So settle in, I will share my highlights. So we're going to start off with Meghan talking about as ever. Emma asked her about her entrepreneurial spirit, where she got it from. So Meghan revealed that as a young girl, she and her mother would go to downtown LA, and with her allowance, she would purchase 1 yard, and with her own sewing machine at home, she would make scrunchies. So sweet about Meghan. She said that she would sell them for $1 a piece. And it stirred up something in her, like it sparked that she could mix her passion and also have some financial gain from it. To which Emma remarked that she was probably selling through a bunch of those because at that time we were loving scrunchies. And Meghan also replied, "Imagine I was doing that now. It would probably be pretty good." And they both had a giggle. I love that story, and it reminds me of my own journey in my school days, where I would sell to my fellow classmates bookmarks that I would make at home with my sister. We personalized them, we had a way to laminate them, and yeah, it was great to merge at the time creativity and also be able to earn. So I love that story of Meghan. It just immediately took me back to that childhood memory. So I'd like to ask all of you in the comment section to share with us your earliest foray into anything entrepreneurial, when you first got a chance to earn your very first amount of money at a young age, and what was it that you did? Share that with us in the comment section. She also opened up about her partnership with Netflix in much detail, saying that her partnership with Netflix has already been for about 5 years as of this point, and it was with her husband as well. And she said, so there was familiarity there was comfort, and there is a friendship aspect to her work with Netflix. She has friends there who have been champions for her. So yes, she said that the brand, though it is an extension of what she is all about, which is hospitality, cooking, and all of that, that even on the business aspect of it, where it's all about the sales, the customer service, there is that through line of her being very involved in everything that goes on. So she also opened up about the sale of the first as ever offerings. And I've always wanted Meghan to talk about what her experience was, seeing it all selling out, I think under 45 minutes or something like that. And she was asked if she thought it would happen. And she did say she expected that it would sell out. She knows that there is a lot of focus on her. And of course, that is across every aspect of her launching the product. Everything was under scrutiny. We all know that, from her getting the name patented. There was tremendous focus, as Meghan says it, on her, and she said that she saw it as a blessing. So when it sold out under 45 minutes, she was overjoyed. She said her friends called her and they were like, it's all sold out, everything. And you could see the joy on her face. I'm so happy that she's gotten a chance to share that with us, because you know how detail oriented Meghan was. She was involved in everything. I'm talking the packaging, the wording on the newsletters. She was there every step of the way. So she was just overjoyed to know that you were all there. And Meghan is so conscious of the customer service aspect of things. She said that, of course, there was that idea that customers would not want to be disappointed with every new launch, with everything selling out. And the next immediate step was her and Netflix trying to figure out how quickly they could restock, because they had not planned for the product to move that quickly. So she said they wanted to make sure that they could scale up, because yes, it's amazing, a blessing to have sell out. And this is what she said, quote, "I think scarcity is great if it happens organically at the onset, but at a certain point, even being consumer minded, I would be fatigued if that kept happening. And I was going to a website. So I said, okay, let's take this opportunity to grow, to have exponentially more SKUs as well as more inventory," end quote. So that's what they're working on, even as we know they have teased something major coming in the new newsletter that was put out. So mark your calendars for that. June the 20th, we will get to see what Meghan is offering. And as the Duchess has disclosed through this podcast, they promise that this next development will be a launch that will be larger than what sold out in the first run, mentioning the term global time and time again. So this time, guys, it's not just going to be focused on the US. Netflix and Meghan have realized the demand is real. So this time it's going to be a global launch because they have taken that opportunity to grow. And she also seemed joyful in saying that the world is learning with her in real time. So one more pivotal moment in this podcast was them talking about money and financial literacy. Meghan is encouraging that in her children as young as they are. Yes, they are too young for traditional jobs, but that has not ruled out their entrepreneurial spirit. Meghan opened up about how the children are establishing good financial habits that will stick, saying that her children sometimes do a little farmer's market stand. To which Emma Greedy said that that is so Americana. Indeed it is. So she said not only is the gardening important because it teaches the children patience and to value and appreciate their food because it sees them starting from seed to harvest. She said that when it finally reaches the point of harvest time, she tells the children, "Do you want to sell what you've grown and share it with our community?" And then she also asks them, what do you want to do with these funds once you have them? So as young as they are, learning counting and numbers and all of that, they now understand that there is a cost and price for things. And she said that that was key for children to understand, especially her own children who are lucky to have a home which has privilege. Now that reminded me as well of this parallel with Princess Diana when she was trying to instill in her own children the value of money, giving them some pocket money to go into shops and buy things for themselves, understanding that not everything is about having a butler or having people waiting on you 24/7, but also going out and interacting with their own community. So isn't that amazing to have Harry and Meghan instilling those values in their own children? And not only that, they are already understanding that they too can earn money as young as they are and encourage autonomy and build confidence in them, as well as that entrepreneurial mindset. I love that. Isn't that incredible? They already have their money, and not only that, perhaps they have money from chores they do in the house, who knows, but it's all so sweet. I think that is amazing that Meghan has shared that with us. Wonderful. She also spoke about how to tackle the element that some founders go through, which is impostor syndrome. And she said that she drew upon her time as an auditioning actress. The Duchess spoke about not getting roles and being rejected for so many roles early in her career because there were not a lot of mixed race parts. She struggled to land the girl next door roles that would often go to blonde actresses with a certain look. So Meghan said this, quote, "But because I'm half white, I would also be submitted for those roles, and if it was a character that had any sort of ethnicity, there was always a bit of edge to those characters, but I'd be submitted for those roles. I also, to a lot of people in casting, they thought I was Latina, so I share that because I've shared this before. It was a numbers game," end quote. She also went on to add, quote, "If I'm only up for 10 parts, that could be 10 no's, but if I'm up for 30 parts, because I can fit into so many different rooms, that could be 30 no's. And that is a lot to chip away at your self-esteem. That is really hard," end quote. So Meghan went on to say that she went through that chapter of self-doubt as an auditioning actress, and she said that that happened because sometimes she would find herself consumed with what everyone around her thought, and that was a hard way to live. So she said as she got older in her 40s as a mom, she wanted to set an example for her children about what they should think of themselves. So she said, quote, and that you can't have an impostor syndrome around. You have to be so authentically the role model and the example of competence, self-forgiveness, kindness, fun, all of those things. You can't fake that. You want to model that for them. So all of that really shifted in the past 6 years of becoming a mom, end quote. So she's had these ways to tackle negative self-talk. And one more thing, she said she cannot make room for that type of negative feedback in her life. It's not helpful for her. She chooses to believe in herself. And she said she also leans on the support of friends, women who have made huge strides in the business sphere. She calls them when she faces some type of challenge, and they always tell her power through, they give her advice. So that was one more thing she chooses in order to keep herself in a positive mindset. So I love the fact that she's sharing that with us. One more thing I've got to say about Meghan with As Ever that really was so sweet. She said that for her, what success would have looked like, even as so many people were projecting onto her as she launched this business. We know how many people had talked about her in the press. People were pushing her for the next launch. She said that those type of timelines are not hers. She was gonna go and make sure that their product had quality and quantity going hand in hand. But this was the moment that just really stood out for me. Meghan disclosed that when she wanted to start off with the whole idea of making jam before Netflix came on board and it all catapulted, she had thought of maybe selling locally at a farmer's market. And she said, quote, I thought that would be cute, in quotes. But when Netflix, of course, came along and she has been a huge success, she still said this. Now listen, she said, quote, I believe in our potential for success. And is that the same metric of success someone else is putting on it? No, for me, it would have been a huge success and not a failure if I was selling my homemade jams at a farmer's market and I'd gotten a cottage license I applied for in the county of Santa Barbara, where you can literally go. And I was like, yes, you can make the goods in your house and sell them, and that would have been a success for me. So someone else's sense of what that looks like is not necessarily what mine is, and that will continue to grow. But no, I don't see the possibility of failure, end quote. She also said she can learn from everything and that she loves learning as well. So I love that. That for me was a huge standout. And here, once again, Emma was so cool as a host. She was asking all of the right questions. She talked about her own journey as an entrepreneur, and she said that she admired Meghan for being able to do so much in the public gaze. And she made jokes about how sometimes she had, gone through some not so amazing moments in her business, and she was happy that no one was seeing her in those moments of failure. And her and Meghan were giggling at that moment. And she asked Meghan how she is able to handle the pressure of everyone's eyes on her. And Meghan said that that's just her life now. She also understands the effect that she has. I'm talking about the Meghan effect, where when she wears something, it sells out. And she says she embraces that. It was also a way for her to use her voice when she felt she did not have one. She would support women-owned businesses, and she would find it so heartwarming to have them writing back to her when their businesses would just totally explode with new customers. So it was cool to have Meghan talking about the impact, and she understands that people watch not only what she is wearing. She did touch on the fact that she has noted that effect is also seen in Archie and Lili. When they wear things, people also want to buy the same thing. So I love how she called it the effect. We all call it the Meghan effect. She's so humble in that. And Emma urged her to take a piece of that effect that Meghan has and also get into that market, which Meghan as well has acknowledged that a lot of people had indeed advised her to go into the fashion and beauty space, because in a way it's what people expected. She has dabbled in that before, and she says that there is a time for that as well. So looking forward to that. It seems that that's something that's brewing in the back of her mind. I cannot wait to see what will happen in the future. If she will sell makeup palettes or have a clothing collection, that will sell like hotcake for sure. So as I mentioned, this interview was so in-depth. I could go on and on, but these are a couple of my highlights. Of course, we did cover her dancing the baby mama dance. I covered that yesterday's video. Links will be appearing here if you want to go check that out. It was fun. So share your highlights. I want to know yours in the comment section below. All right, now on to the second story of the day, which is absolutely important. And this is from the Invictus Games Foundation, who have shared with us that they have received a record 6 expressions of interest to host an Invictus Games in 2029. Showcasing unprecedented global enthusiasm and commitment to the values of recovery, rehabilitation, and respect for international wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans. So unveiled today at the Olympic Museum in Lausanne as part of the Host and Federation Summit, the foundation shared the bids have been submitted from 6 cities from countries across 4 continents, and we will name them here: Denmark, Italy, Nigeria, the Republic of Korea, Ukraine, and the United States of America, reflecting the universal appeal and growing impact of the Invictus movement worldwide. Rob Owen, OBE, CEO of the Invictus Games Foundation, said, quote, "We are thrilled to have such interest, demonstrating a clear recognition of the powerful impact of hosting an Invictus Games, not only on the competitors themselves, but on those supporting, watching, and cheering on from the stands. These expressions of interest are also testament to the growing global impact of being part of the Invictus movement, and we look forward to working with each of these locations over the coming year to develop fuller propositions with the recovery of international wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans at their heart," end quote. So we have it here. I will go into the regions by city and by country just to get it more specific. Aalborg, Denmark has put in their bid. Abuja, Nigeria as well has put in their bid. Daejeon, Republic of South Korea as well have thrown their hat in the ring, as well as Kyiv, Ukraine, and then San Diego, United States of America, and last but not least, Veneto region, Italy. So one of these cities will be welcoming the Invictus Games community in 4 years. So that's the quick update as well. Just to cap off this amazing video where we have had so much to talk about. Share your hype for this news, all of it. Which country and city in particular would you like to have host the Invictus Games 2029? Share that as well. We will have a poll running with this video. I want to get real-time results from those of you who are watching, because this is going to be good. Share your thoughts in the comment section as well. As always, before we log off, allow me here to thank those of you who support this channel financially and shout out a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you to you. Lady Rose, thank you for choosing to accompany me here on this YouTube journey. You have a kind soul, and I thank you for the unwavering support and love through your tangible giving. I love you. You are dear and cherished. God bless you and thank you. And now a very special thank you to those who gave through Super Thanks. A very special thank you to you, Alma Andrews. I'm so touched by your kindness and warmth. May God bless you and yours exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. You are valued here, and you are such a blessing. I truly appreciate how you make this community so much better, not only by your presence here, but by your generosity and altruism. You are inspirational. I love you. I truly do. Thank you. And a very special thank you to you. You go by the handle Nutty Doctor 612. You have been a long-time supporter of this channel here and a blessing to all of us. Your kindness has warmed me. You are a tremendous boost, and words truly cannot express how much you mean not only to me, but to this community here. Thank you for your constant love and encouragement. I love you, God bless you, and thank you. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel financially, to those who like, comment, and share. I appreciate you all. Once again, share your thoughts, highlights, and standouts in the comment section. Click that subscribe button. It truly does help out the channel. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep it here for more. And I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.